Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, what's going on? This is Charles, and I'm back again. Nah, I can't do that. I gotta do this over. You know what? Should I just keep this? I'll just keep it in. How you guys doing out there, huh? How's everybody doing? It's funny, I'm saying everybody, but like I think, a couple people listen to this. Let's see. Someone's sending me a text message. Okay. So it's Friday. It's Friday. Hope you had a great day. I want to talk about a couple different things today. I listened to an interview that was really interesting. I listened to this interview. I'm not even sure how I stumbled upon it, but well, I actually listened to two. So the first one that I listened to more recently was about Mike Myers, and Mike Myers, Mike Myers, right? Austin Powers, Wayne's World, So I'm Married, an Axe Murderer, all these movies, Shrek. So I listened to this interview, and it was really interesting. Honestly, one of the things that stood out to me about Mike Myers in this interview was that he was really he came across really, I guess, down to earth, almost just like really, I'm having a hard time thinking of the right word, almost just very honest and open. And, he was just really vulnerable. I don't know, not really what I would expect, but he told different stories about how he broke into, the whole comedy industry, SNL, the movies that he made. He shared how he had joined the Chicago, Second City in Chicago. I think I'm saying that right. Second City is like a improv group, but I guess they have different groups in different cities. So, anyways, so he was part of one of these groups, and then he got invited to some type of alumni event, and so he goes to this alumni event, and he's in there, but he's looking around. He realizes that there's all these other really popular celebrities, and he had some certain sketches or skits that he was going to be doing, and he shares how right before he ends up going to the bathroom, and he was just thinking in his head this is not going to be good. What am I doing here? I don't know anybody here. I don't fit in. There's all these celebrities around me. And he said he was getting so sad, he was going to cry. And one of his friends who happened to be there happened to go into the bathroom and was like, "Bro, you okay?" And he told him what was going on. And his friend was just like, "No, man, you're going to kill it. You're going to steal the show. Don't worry about any of that. Just go in there and do your thing." And so he listened to his one friend, and he went in there and he did his skits, and he said he got so much positive feedback, and he said he literally stole the show his friend said he would. So he was shocked, and he explained, he said afterwards he went and he sat by himself, and he heard some guy saying, hey kid, and he turned around and it was Michael Keaton. And he was like, "Man, you were good in there, kid." He didn't know his name, and he was like, "Good things are coming for you." And he was like, What are you talking about? And and then shortly after that, he was getting a call from Lorne Michaels, the creator of SNL, and I don't know, man. It was just, to me, just stuff like that is fascinating, to hear how someone goes from really not being known in that way to being really what he became. And he shared multiple stories about his first skits of Wayne's World. He shared about different impact on different people had on him as well. It was really interesting. It was I think the cool part is just how down to earth he was in the interview. And man, it was just interesting. So the other interview that I listened to recently, that one was actually from the one with Mike Myers was maybe about 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. I started to look up more recent interviews on him, but I didn't really come across anything. But the other interview that I found was on a podcast. It was on a podcast, and it was actually a Seinfeld interview, Jerry Seinfeld, and I've kind of heard a little bit, like little bits and pieces about, Seinfeld and, his whole process of, getting into comedy, but his process of like joke writing. But I never really heard the full extent of it, and he's very, very, very process oriented, very disciplined. Like, he talks about writing, and he explains how when he first started, he would literally just set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes, and he would force himself to write, regardless of how he felt, and he would write. And he said at the beginning it was really painful, really frustrating, just to kind of get through it, But he explains that, when the timer goes off, and then you start seeing, when you hear the timer and you make it, you finish what you set out to do, you're essentially, sorry, you get rewarded. That's what he was saying. And so, the other thing that he did was he had shared that he has an office, like this wall, and he prints out a full calendar, like a year-long calendar, and every day that he spends in a writing session, he just puts an X on the day. And he said the goal wasn't like to be the best writer in the world, but the goal was to not break the chain. So how many consecutive days can he add to the calendar where he wrote? And so it was the discipline and the consistency that he attributed to his success. And to me, that actually was really interesting. It was like kind of motivating for me. I was like, man, what can I do? What can I do consistently? What can I do to where I won't break the chain? Is it working out? Is it writing myself? Because I want to get into comedy. I want to try stand-up comedy. I keep on saying that I want to do it, but that doesn't really do anything. It's like kind of like it's like saying, yeah, I gotta lose some weight. Back in my day, it's a story about how, the guy used to be in the best shape of his life, but yeah, I'll get back on track someday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And by the way, let me get a quarter pounder. No, I'm just kidding. So the point that I'm trying to make is, talk is cheap, bro. Talk is cheap. And I don't want to just keep talking about it, but maybe, but anyways, so long story short, I think it's too long. I went too long to say that, but long story short, the Seinfeld interview was really interesting to me. I like how he broke down the process of it, like writing jokes, and how it doesn't matter how you feel, you essentially force yourself to write jokes. And I've heard a lot of people say how, oh, I write, but it's normally, based on things that happen in my life that are funny. And obviously I don't think there's like a perfect or one way to do it. Obviously you go through life and you go through funny experiences, and sometimes it's not necessarily the funniest experience. It could just be the most relatable experience. And that type of thing is funny because, and it's not funny because it's funny because people hear and they're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that's like. Like, for example, today I went to the bank today, and I don't know if this is funny, but I had to go to the bank, which is inside of the store, which is right by my house. And so I've seen these bank tellers, bank workers, whatever you call them. I've seen these guys these gals for 7-8 years. Man, how long have I lived there now? 8, almost 9 years. Anyways, so, go in there, gotta go do a little deposit, no biggie. I do the thing, I deposit, the check and whatever. And they're asking, small talk, how's it going? Ready for Christmas? And then one girl asked something. I had no idea what she was talking about. I kind of started panicking because I was like, oh no, she's asking me something. I don't know what it is. And she was referring to she was saying, I still don't know what word she used, but I finally realized what it was after like an hour. Nah, I'm just kidding. And I was like, oh yeah, I have a tree. I have a fake tree. And they kind of laughed. And I'm like, yeah, it's up and decorated, I didn't decorate one bit of it. But I took the credit, I guess, in that story. So we talked about that. And then they're like, you all ready for Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And then I was just like, you guys like Christmas? And they were like, they kind of laughed. And one was like, I really like Christmas. The other girl was like, yeah, no, I know what you mean. It could be really stressful because you got this and that. And it's all business and it's all marketing. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. And that's the one thing I don't like about it is like, actually, I feel like this is running too long. But I'll wrap this up in a couple minutes. So one thing I don't like about it is like, oh, we got potluck. Come join the work potluck. Don't forget to sign up. Sign up and bring something for the potluck. And it's like, okay. But then next thing you know, it's like, oh, we're having a Christmas party. Oh, Christmas work party. I'm not going to it. Like, I'm not. I mean, like, I thought about it, but like, someone asked me about it today and I'm like, yeah, I won't be there. Like it's 5:45 after work. I want to be in the office and I really don't have any desire to go there. I mean, I hope they have a good time, but then it's like, oh, we got to get this gift. Oh, we got to go here. Oh, did you forget to get a gift for your cousin? I feel like I talked about this on a recent episode, but oh well. And then it's like, oh, come to this event. Don't forget to bring a $10 gift that you can exchange it for a white elephant. And it's just like, man, one thing after another. And then somehow the weekends just get super busy. Like there's something to go to every weekend. You know what I'm saying? Every weekend. It's like, oh, we got to go here. Okay. What about this? What about that? Hey, what about that? Like there's so many things popping off at the same time. You know what I mean? And it could just be a little, it could be a bit much. It's just a bit much. But anyways, that's just the way it goes. Actually, I don't know how I, okay. So if you're still here, you're a saint. No, seriously, I meant to say something. I totally got off track. I shared the story about going to the bank, talking to the bank tellers, about Christmas and whatever. And then I leave, and then I realize, oh, I actually gotta go buy something. I'm not just here to go to the bank. So I went to go buy the thing that I was buying. And for some reason, I didn't want to walk back the same way because I didn't want to like see those bank tellers again. I mean, I don't know, has that ever happened to you? I actually walked out of the other exit of the store. And then I was like, what am I doing? But sometimes I actually run into people at the store that I know. And I got a bad habit of being like, hey, how you doing? And you can tell the other person, like, they recognize you, but they don't remember you at all. They don't remember your name. And I remember, like, one time I ran into this particular person, and I won't say her name, but I was like, oh, blah, 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 right? And she's like, oh, yeah. And I worked with her at this company, and she didn't remember my name. But it's fine. I'm not hurt. I'm not upset about it, And then it's just like, we just go through this whole small talk, and then I say dumb things like, oh, you live around here? Oh, like whereabouts do you live? And she's just like, like nearby. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you asking her where she lives? You think she wants to tell you? Oh yeah, this is where I live. And then I was like, well, I don't know. I'm just making small talk. What are you doing? And then anyways, I ran into that person later on, and after that one initial incident, I was like, what's the point? Like, I'm not gonna, like, let's just act like we don't know each other. Obviously, we know each other, but is it even worth it? You know, or that time you run into you go to the store, you do see someone you know, you talk to them, you think it's over, but you're shopping, you know, and you're going down different aisles, and guess what? Oh, you see them again. Like, what are you supposed to do when you see them again? You're not, I mean, do you nod? Do you give like the, like, hey, you know, long time no see, you know, the typical thing that, you know, a million people would come up with. Or do you just act like you don't see them? Or, all right, have a good one. All right, take care now. That's usually what I say. I just, have a good one. All right. You know, it's like, it's funny. You like say the same word over and over. All right. Okay. It's like, what is that? The other thing that kind of gets irritating sometimes is like, I've noticed that some people do this where if you're on the phone with somebody and it's like you're about to hang up and you're like, all right, Tim, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna let you go. I gotta get back to it. You know what I mean? And I gotta get back. And then Tim just goes, all right. Like, why is he laughing? Like, I didn't say anything funny, but it's like, but it's consistent. So then you talk to Tim again, you know, 2 months in the future, and it's like, all right, Tim, I gotta go. Okay, have a good one. I'm like, what are you laughing at, bro? And then I actually had to talk to somebody at my job. I have to call people and interact with people and help them fix their computer issues or whatnot. And so I contacted this lady and I was like, hey, Lynette, yeah, I'm just reaching out to try to help you. I know you have an issue with this website, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, I'm like, what? Like, what is funny? Like, what is actually funny here? And she just kept on, like, laughing. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, what am I doing that's funny? Like, all right. You know what? I think that's too much. I think that's enough. I'm going to call it. It's Friday night. I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got no job. Nah, I'm just kidding. I do have a job. But anyways, I'm out of here. Have a good one.